welcome. This is a podcast. We don't know what it's going to be called yet. It's still a working title, but we don't even know if this one will surface or anything, but put it out. So we're going to be playing some, talk about stuff, movies, whatever. Pretty much we'll just do anything here. Over video games, of course. Yeah, Royal Flush Plaza, go in there.
Yeah, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I could have swore we got to the Royal Flush Plaza earlier.
Well, because it has the same, it has like a similar
Oh,
front,
but
like
you
the-
couldn't get into it,
Yeah.
I think. It was like
Yeah.
the backside. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is probably introduce ourselves, actually.
Yeah.
I'm James,
I'm Garrett.
I'm Paul.
and this will be
One of many.
podcast.
It'll be one of many.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we're going to talk about the new Avengers movie, and then what we see in the future Marvel movies such as like Civil War, because that got
Spider-Man,
casted,
because
and Spider-Man,
that'll be interesting. That's for sure.
and so that's it. So
We're a little late to talk
yeah,
about it. but we'll
it
still
came out a
talk
couple
about
weeks ago, but you know people are still talking about it.
It gives people to see it too, so
Yeah.
people can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
So-
want to. I didn't want to spoil anything for anybody.
So yeah, so
So-
by the way, there most likely and will be
Yeah,
spoilers
no,
in this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll go in depth with stuff. Well, not terribly in depth. Like, oh, that was see that
Right over.
angle at 243. That's a nice cinematic.
We'll put a watermark for when you want to skip it, though, if you guys want to do
Yeah,
that.
and we'll say to what. So
Yeah.
It's all good.
So yeah, let's start about it. First of all, let's just say what we thought of, like a 10 out of 10 rating. That
That's-
stuff.
Well-
yeah, that's fun.
I feel like we should say that for the end.
Okay.
Just
Like an
just to get our
overall?
feelings out and kind of refresh our memory on
Okay.
what's really in it.
Yeah. All right. So I've seen it 3 times so far.
And I've seen it once, so I'm
Once.
still.
And you
Same
guys
with me.
both-
Just saw it
yeah.
once. It was good, though, you know?
Yeah. I like how in the very beginning they let you know this is a comic book movie. Like, stuff is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's a full cast.
I
Get
almost
ready.
sound stupid, but how do I throw this again?
You have to hold down left trigger. Well, like, it's funny, at the very beginning, there are certain things that... Yeah. Oh, you got 9 pins.
Ooh.
Like, there are certain things, like Captain America chucks his bike at a guy, and it's like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
He
you know?
chucks it at a car,
All right.
Yeah.
so it's
I
not
don't know-
as bad.
No, I mean, no, not like that, but it's like, whoa, he's got superpowers, you know? Because, like, in
Yeah.
the other ones, he's just,
yeah.
he just fights
He's just
guys.
throwing the shield. Like
Yeah.
that's it. He's not really throwing anything heavy.
Yeah.
All right, I brought
No,
this
I
up
get
with you guys before, but that opening scene, did anyone else think that the graphics were lacking there? Like
Well,
the CGI just was
yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
Because
at
I just
some
felt
parts.
that I tuned, as soon as it came in, it was bad. I don't know. It was just bad to me.
Well, it's hard to do because that was a live. They wanted to make it look like one shot, but the thing is at the same time, they're replacing their actors with 3D models at the same time as filming them and making them go in with these crazy
Yeah.
sweeping shots and everything. So that opening shot took a very long time to make, but it doesn't look that good. You know, like of course,
Yeah.
just because you're seeing it all happen right in front of you.
I understand that it did take a long time. It's just I felt like they could have done better.
Yeah.
Personally,
But
Uh-huh.
you know, it's not one of those things where it's like
yeah. I mean, it's not
not
like
a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like gonna die. Oops.
She's gotta go.
Somebody's
This
gonna
bit. Oh. Oh, I'm
That's
screwed.
crazy.
I'm screwed.
You're fine.
So, but yeah, it wasn't that bad in the beginning. Like after seeing it a couple times, you don't really care. You're
Oh, I
watching
know.
out
It
all
was
the
just
other
for me,
stuff.
like the first time seeing it, and it was just like instantaneous, just like ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I instantly
Yeah.
had a complaint. So
Yeah.
let's go this way.
It's a cool scene though because it's just like it's all of them working together
Oh.
and then that shot that they get.
Yeah.
of
There's
them.
like a splash
then-
shot.
Yeah, it's
that-
really cool.
What do you think of the added love interest with Hulk and Black Widow there?
fun.
I'm gonna say it's unnecessary.
Oh,
like another thing
I
in the
agree.
movie that we will talk about later.
But it's I think it's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
it's
the
funny
idea that
seeing
they
that
took
dynamic.
was it was
it was-
definitely an add-on.
Yes, it wasn't bad, but it was like it didn't have to be.
It didn't detract from the movie.
Yeah, it didn't detract anything from the movie.
It added a little bit of
Yeah,
extra to it.
cheekiness.
Yeah.
So they could have like those cheeky scenes and stuff, and they kind of and I guess they were trying to explain why Lullaby works, and it has to be Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like, because anybody could have done the Lullaby.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, it's Black Widow, and then they're like, oh yeah, they're into each other.
Yeah.
But was there really?
so-
Did she really say like a lullaby though? Because I totally,
No,
I totally missed it. It was
was
more
like
just
a
a
code
code.
Okay, that's
It's
what
like calling
that's
that
what I
robot
figured. I just
Veronica.
at first I didn't get it. You know, I was
Right.
very confused. I was like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, it's like calling the robot Veronica, which is a reference to the Archie comic books, Betty and Veronica, because Bruce's girlfriend and later on wife in the comics is Betty, and so Veronica is
Close.
the only other woman that can like calm him down,
Oh, okay.
and so that's what they're joking with, and I thought that was cool.
Gotcha.
Next thing I'd like to add on is the comedy that they added to it. They added so much more to
Yeah.
it than the last Avengers. Like Robert Downey Jr. You know, oh my God,
Yeah,
he actually I felt like he was more of an Iron Man than, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
you
yeah,
can't
he
have
was.
this with
He was
Yeah,
a
you
better.
gotta speak
It was
into it.
better than.
Oh, that's what I thought it was the battery.
Like in Iron Man 3, they tried to take like a more serious note with it, I guess, and it wasn't as campy. This one was definitely like a campy movie with like all the cast, and I think it's because this is like their second movie working together,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
the
Well,
cast is
they're
like
a lot
better.
more close.
Yeah, so they're
With the
a lot
focus
closer.
and also the focus that they finally did on Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
I
totally
really
kind of
liked that.
threw him off in the last movie, in my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, no, they totally did.
In there was something that I was reading where it was Joss Whedon who was talking about like his process of making the movie, and he said it was one of the most exhausting things that he ever did. But he says at the same time, like he did enjoy it because like he got to work with those people and everything like that, and you could see that with the actors in
Yeah.
the movie that
Yeah.
they all truly do like being with each other. But that as a director, it's like wrangling up kids because it's like in order to get them to stop actually goofing off, you actually have to get them to get to like the scene and get to the script and everything like that. And I feel like some of the shots in it, you more so saw them messing around. Like there's that scene when they're all trying to lift up the hammer.
Yeah.
And Mark
Oh,
Ruffalo just does that weird scream.
I-
Like, "Ah!"
I
Like,
love one of my favorite parts of the movie is when the Vision picks it up and Iron Man and Captain America
Right.
are talking to
Thor at the
Thor,
end.
and they're telling him at the end of the movie, they're like, you know, it's not a big deal, you know.
Yes.
If you put it in an elevator and it lifted it up, you know,
Yeah.
maybe the elevator would be worthy.
Yeah,
And I just thought that, that
Yeah,
that
they're
was
just talking
great.
about how like the Vision. He's like, well, the Vision's artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I mean,
so
he's not
really. He's not human.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Not human, doesn't
technically,
matter. Put it on an elevator. Elevator still goes up. Elevator's not worthy.
I felt like it kind of had that same moment in remember back in the last Captain America when the Winter Soldier caught his shield.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a very kind of similar moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like
It
whoa.
was a turn of power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
And-
because now it's like now that they established that, I feel like in the next Avengers or the next thing they do with Thor, where everyone is interacting with him, Thor's gonna do so much more. Well, he'll like chuck a hammer at someone, and they'll like combo with it or something like
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Because that
because-
would be an awesome combo.
that. Because that's the thing in this one now. The only person who really combos with Thor is Captain America because he has the shield, you know.
Yes.
But he also throws the shield to everyone. Like Black Widow gets the shield. Like everyone gets the shield. In
Yeah.
The new Avengers movie, like just because now Winter Soldier showed that someone else can handle it, it's like
Uh-huh.
oh, the whole team can handle it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not really as bad as it,
Yeah.
you know,
But-
could have been or used to seem.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that was
Yeah. Captain America does the most combos with people. Yeah, like in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
It was Iron Man and Captain America. They did like a Iron Man shot lasers at the shield, and the shield
Yes.
reflected at anyone everywhere.
Right.
They did that, and so it's like Captain America is now teaming up with Thor, and so I'm just wondering, is Hawkeye just gonna like shoot an arrow? It's gonna bounce off that and use it as a ricochet.
Yeah.
What's Hulk gonna do? Like I'm waiting for Hulk to do his super clap.
Yes.
He'll
But,
probably do it on like there'll be like a guy running at him and he'll like clap him and
Yeah.
then like he'll explode.
Because remember that scene?
Yeah,
I
it'd have
think
been
it
cool
was-
to see him smush somebody, like on him, like just, you know,
Yeah,
done like a
in-
monkey.
Well, I'm sure that
A
there
monkey
was
clap on him.
The thing is with a
about
lot of the you can't get that yet. You need like a couple million.
Oh, really? I
Um,
thought it was like a couple 100,000.
'cause he did it in Incredible Hulk,
Yes.
the one with Edward Norton. He
Well-
did the super clap.
I thought he just did the Hulk smash. Did he do that?
I'm pretty sure he did it at one point.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. He did do that.
It's
he
been a while
didn't-
since I've seen that one, but I'm pretty sure he did it then.
But let's see. What was another adding point that I wanted to do? Well, we were looking through that book the other day of what Ultron looks like on the comics compared to
like the giant encyclopedia of Marvel.
Yes.
It's a giant book that
Yeah.
just has everything Marvel.
A little bit
in
of
it.
backstory there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But you know, part of me wishes that they would have, you know, made him look more like it, but they did do a good job. They made it look a little more, you know, if this was real, what would happen? Because, you know, they did have to take some liberties.
Yeah, I kind of liked how they did the motion capture with Ultron.
Yeah.
Because you got a little bit more emotion.
Yeah,
with the
but
face.
my complaint also there was how he's metal, and yet his mouth is moving, you know, with like
it was like
a fluid movement instead of up and down like a normal.
Yeah.
But then
bionic
if you take away the audio, they're trying to make it look like he's human no matter what. But then if you take away the audio from that scene, he'll just be going and just like moving his mouth a bunch, you know?
Yeah.
Like he'll look like a puppet.
Yeah.
And like that was something that I'm sure that they considered, but just didn't do.
Yeah.
And so, what was everybody's take on, you know, possibly Spider-Man being back, you know, not being back,
Well,
but being
before that,
added?
let's talk about Quicksilver compared to...
Yeah, so I'm getting ahead of us here. But...
Yeah. Quicksilver in this movie compared to Days of Future Past.
I can't remember the one from Days of Future Past.
Well, remember, it's the guy he played. The guy who played in Days of Future Past was from American Horror Story.
I'm saying like I can't really remember too much of that movie.
Oh, okay.
But I did not like Quicksilver in this movie. Like it's mostly just
I didn't like the added heavy Russian accent that they slipped out of every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, like
After rewatching it, I was like, they're like the first time I saw it, I heard it more, and then like the second time, I guess I just didn't care as much.
Yeah.
I just like filtered it out.
you're like, okay, whatever, and
It's
then
fine. But there's one line in particular where she starts off, Scarlet Witch starts off with no accent and then goes back into it. Like you can tell that she remembers to go back into it. She's guarding the drill.
That okay? I was gonna say at the end of the movie, I know the exact spot there.
Yes, like, hey, you good here?
It was kind of like,
and
I
then
got
she's
oh
like,
wait, hold on, I have to talk in a Russian accent.
It was totally like that was like the worst.
I can imagine the director back there be like, just keep going.
But you could
keep
tell
going.
it was like their best take of it, and so they're like,
you know,
good.
They're
we're
like,
taking
okay,
it.
this is what'll it's gonna have to do.
well, like even with their accents and everything. I'm trying to pull out my camera to take a picture of all that. Like with their accents, it's just like it wasn't that it was really necessarily like bad, but it's like I know that Scarlet Witch, I know that she's like Russian too, and it's like, well then.
Oh, you mean Black Widow? Yeah.
Yeah,
and then Black Widow doesn't have an accent at all.
With Black Widow, I know that she's Russian too, and it's like she doesn't have an accent, so it's like, what just didn't stop them from just being like, don't put up an accent? But it's like they went for that really like corny like, oh, when we were children, a missile landed in our house, and we waited for it for 2 days to kill us. And like stuff like that, and it's just like that whole like sob story to Ultron. Like
I
the
know,
guy who
yeah.
doesn't give a shit about humans.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that he just gives a shit about humans.
Exactly.
When it's in like a way that makes them look bad. You know, it's just like I don't care about this.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It was kind of stupid. Who was she falling for at the end of the movie? What?
Who, Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, who was she falling for at the end? I thought she had some sort of love connection there to somebody.
Not yet, but in the comic book, she's eventually going to be married to the Vision.
Well, I
But
couldn't
I don't
know
think
because
they'll
there was a point in
go
the
into
movie
depth.
where the Vision and I don't know if it was the Vision, but
The
it's
Vision
somebody.
saves her.
Was
from
it Hawkeye?
Yeah, but there was they kind of had like a moment there.
It might have been like a nod to it.
So I don't know.
Like, hey, this will happen.
I felt like I got a vibe
Uh-huh.
of that,
Mm.
but that could have
Yeah,
just
it's
been
definitely
me.
not Hawkeye. Hawkeye is married and has 2 kids.
Yeah, I know.
And a third-
I
a
wasn't
third
thinking.
one
I
now,
wasn't thinking it was gonna be Hawkeye.
whose middle name is Pietro, because Quicksilver saved him and died.
Yes,
Unnecessary death. That was the other
that
unnecessary
really
thing.
it really was. I mean, it was.
You didn't have to die. And there's even like cut scenes where, like after he died, like they have him in the cradle,
Yes.
and they're saving Quicksilver. Like he comes back.
Hmm.
Like that was like an extra scene that they cut out, and they're like, no, we're not gonna do it.
Well,
Yeah,
I wonder
that's-
like how much of it was actually just scheduling and everything like that, like trying to get the actor to.
Yeah. Well, they had it shot
Well,
and everything.
They could have felt as if it was an unneeded character.
Yeah.
So they kind of like
That's
you know
what I'm
what?
thinking,
I don't
like-
see anywhere. If anything, he's gonna be part of the B team. Avengers B team, like they showed
Yeah.
at the end.
The new Avengers.
Yeah, I could just consider that their B team.
Yeah.
they're-
No, it totally is.
It's
It's
their-
if the main team can't be there.
Exactly. It's like in the Amazing Spider or the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoons. How
Yeah.
They have not all the
Yeah.
Avengers can be there. They have Spider-Man leading that like
Yeah.
in that
Cage,
universe,
Nova,
yeah,
etc.
sort
Yeah.
of.
That was still pretty tight though at the end when they're like Avengers, and then like it just
And
ends.
then
But
just
like
cuts off.
seeing it all, like
Yeah.
it makes it feel like that end shot of just them all standing there and like waiting for Captain America's orders. It makes it feel like now that the Avengers has been settled, that there are so many more things in this Marvel universe that
Yeah.
like, we have to look forward to.
There's
It's
a
nice that
solid
they're
team to deal
doing
with
that,
things.
Yeah.
but it's how they added to it. But I hope they don't focus on that too much in these next movies because, we're going to see the Avengers, not the
Yeah.
Avengers.
So
The second
in Civil
their,
War,
their second part.
in Civil War, it's been casted and it's out there. It's basically another Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure all of the cast from this past Avengers movie,
Except
for the ones who
Hulk.
died.
No,
Yeah,
Hulk
and
isn't going to
Hulk's
be in
not
it.
in it. Yeah,
and I
Hulk's not
believe
in
Thor, because remember Thor
Yeah,
left because he had
yeah.
to do some
Yeah, with
soul
the exception
searching.
of Thor and Hulk,
Uh-huh.
the rest of them are going to be in it.
Yeah, they're still going to be in it, but
Martin Freeman
well, you have to understand
and
that basically the whole
Spider-Man.
movie is about the argument between
No, I totally. I'm
Captain
excited
America.
for
So
it because
it's
at first I thought it was
that's
just
what
going
it
to
is.
be-
I mean, I like how they're not, because I felt when like they made Thor, they totally left out anybody else in the Avengers. When you think about it, the destruction that was caused could have been universe threatening, but no Avengers there for that. That didn't really
Yeah.
make sense. So
they didn't really say what was happening, whereas in this one they explained why characters weren't
yeah,
there.
but
Even when they're like, "Oh, Pepper's just doing something," I was like,
Yeah.
I immediately just thought of like Gwyneth Paltrow just didn't want to be in it.
Yeah,
Like that was like my thing. I was just like, did she just not want to be in it?
yeah,
all right. Well, I feel like we covered a lot of Avengers there.
yeah.
So I feel like we should give our ratings real quick.
Yeah.
So James,
Before.
if you'd like to go first.
8 out of 10.
Oh, you mean like? Oh,
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
out
Yeah.
of 10.
Oh,
8 out of 10, yeah.
Or
Or 4 out of 5 stars, whatever, your 2 thumbs up, whatever you want to do.
I like. We can do a.
I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I like doing
Just-
a 10 scale.
I liked
Paul,
it.
you can give what you'd like.
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
it. That's
Yeah,
I
no,
don't. I
it's-
really don't believe in like the whole like it's
Okay.
8 out of 10 because then like someone's like.
But
I
would
only
you
see
would you
nines.
recommend
Yeah.
someone to pay
I would-
$10 to go to the movie theater?
I would
and see it?
recommend like
Yeah.
$12.
Would you
Like,
recommend it in IMAX?
No,
No.
would not.
All right. I
Yeah.
personally, I'd say see it in theaters. For some of you non-diehard fans, I would say you can wait till it's rentable.
Yeah.
Redbox or something. But personally, I'm happy I saw it. I saw it the day it came out. I would probably give it. Can we do halves?
Yeah.
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Which basically means this like the higher numbers
It's-
is like it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I'd go see it again.
It's hard to distinguish between the rest.
Yeah.
Between an 8 and a 9 isn't really
Yeah.
that big of a difference. But you know what I mean. It's
Yeah, other people are like, oh no, but like seriously, it's a solid movie.
It's
I mean, I
it's
saw
a good
it
8,
3
not quite.
times.
Not quite a 9 for me.
Yeah,
But had to give it something.
yeah. It's not my favorite movie, but it is, and it's not my
First Amazing Spider-Man, by the way, I really like that
yeah.
movie. That was really good
it's
to
a
me.
Really solid movie.
But
This is amazing.
tangent right there. But
yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing, Paul. Some would say it was spectacular. That's another Spider-Man thing.
Is that what the new one's gonna be called?
I think so. Something like that.
no, it's
rumored
it's Spider-Man: The Next Avenger.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. The Next
That's what I
Avenger.
heard it was.
Yeah,
Um,
it was going to be Spectacular Spider-Man, and now they changed it to
So
Spider-Man: The New Avenger, I guess. But I think it's still in the works. It doesn't come out for another year, another 2 years. I think it's 2017.
which one? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I think we're a ways away because we're still looking at a Sinister Six produced
Yeah.
by given out by Fox, but
Sony and Fox are the same people, aren't they?
yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Something
Yeah.
More like phony.
Put that on someone. Get the thing.
Okay, I'll get it.
But yeah, no. So with the exception of going back to so next the Civil War movie will basically be another Avengers movie, and at first I thought it was just gonna be like, just Tony Stark was gonna be in it,
Right.
and it was just gonna be like them like starting the debates for Civil War,
Yes.
and then that kind of be shown later on in another movie, I guess, like because it was just like, oh, this isn't what we have. It's like not set, but now it's like set and it's casted and everything. And
Yeah,
I'm
we already
excited
know,
to
we
see
already
what
know
they
what's
do.
going on. So.
Because they're definitely not going to do what they did in the comics, because they just
Well, with the
They
comics,
don't-
there's a lot more time.
yeah, there's
you
a
know?
lot more time. To do
You
this.
can spread it out over the course of like issues.
Yeah.
But it's like with the movie, people are gonna get bored. If
Well, yeah,
there's, like,
you
blocks.
have like you got basically you have at the most 2 hours and 45 minutes to do
Yeah.
of screen time.
Yeah, that people will
So
willingly
that peop-
sit through.
Maybe
and
3
not
hours
put
if you
people at
you know
5
if
later.
people know that this movie is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's like what fans would want. There's if there's like a director's
like
cut,
you know
that's
like me
okay,
seeing The Hobbit. I don't mind it being 3 hours because I want it to
Right.
I'm okay with that. You need to pick put as much story as
Yeah.
possible into something.
Right.
But for a superhero movie, it could be a little bit shorter. It doesn't have to be as long. Oh,
Yeah.
cutscene at the end. We
The
totally
Thanos
skipped
one?
over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because that kind of leads us to Guardians of the Galaxy. Leads
Yeah.
to a couple other conversations to
To
have.
the Infinity Wars. And
Yes,
All that stuff. Because, he's not gonna be there until Infinity Wars and maybe in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Maybe.
Yeah,
And
I
those
feel
aren't
like
for
it was
another
a-
couple years either. So
it was appropriate. Not gonna lie, it was an appropriate cutscene. It had to do with the movie. It had to do completely with everything. It makes sense. Because they're talking about they finally figured out what these Infinity Stones are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Avengers are like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
So it was appropriate to add, but I felt like they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I felt like it was almost too soon though.
Well, I was happy that they did because I'm like, oh, cool, Thanos.
Yeah, but
and
when
I love Josh Brolin. I'm a Brolin bro, but like, also at the same time, I was kind of just all like, I did. James, you said like, oh, it took him this long just to get the gauntlet.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Because he was
That's
sitting in his chair
understandable.
for just forever.
I know it's.
And then people were like, oh, it's because he's getting serious now.
yeah,
And it's
Yeah,
just
but-
like, but we knew he was going to do it.
I don't know. It's.
I'm just excited.
I felt like it was
yeah.
unnecessary. It was
Yeah.
too soon. I felt like that'd be good for something at the end of the next Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy, because that's gonna obviously that's gonna lead
Then
directly
right
to the
into-
because they're gonna make that boom Avengers. The
Yeah.
first Avengers movie, and it's. I felt like that would have been perfect. Have Thanos be in there because Thanos is gonna be. Well, actually, they might leave him out of the next one because isn't that supposed to be kind of a standalone? No Avengers, no ties.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
what?
The
Guardians of
next-
the Galaxy
yes.
2? Yeah, it's gonna have nothing to do with
It's just supposed to be
Them doing
the
their
Guardians
thing.
doing their thing.
Honestly, I
fighting
don't-
against.
I don't
well-
think they're gonna be in it until part 2.
Yeah.
Like they're not. I think even in part 2, they're gonna have a very little part.
Well, yeah,
the
it's supposed to be
Guardians.
at the end. I think it's supposed to be like final battle.
Yeah.
They come in. I think they're going to be in it in the beginning, but not all together. There's going to be cutscenes of them being somewhere
Yeah.
talking.
Do the thing that they did in like the first Avengers movie where it's like, all right, here's this person here.
I do think
here's this
they
person
will be at the
here,
end of
and
the
then they'll
first
group 'em.
of the next of Infinity War. I think they'll be in the end of the first one.
Okay.
I think they're gonna there's going to be contact somehow
Yeah.
because obviously
Yeah, they'll
Thanos
be in it.
Thanos
They
showing
probably
up
won't be with them
or yeah.
with the Avengers, but
It'll
they'll
be
in
Nova
it.
Corp. I think it's gonna be Nova Corp contacts Earth. They're like, hey, you guys are fucked. Thanos is coming there. And they're
Yeah,
what's a Thanos?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like,
What's a Thanos?
it's gonna be shit like that. And they're like, we could take him. We took out Loki, and they're like, Loki's not fucking Thanos, guys. You guys are idiots.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, Chris Pratt, get the Guardians, go there, and like go do stuff like that.
Mm.
And then either they will sacrifice him or they won't.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
No,
throw
that
this.
that would make sense. What they
But-
would do.
So far, they're talking about who's going to be in it. Mark Ruffalo is the only character who is contracted to be in both Part 1 and Part 2. He's the
Yeah.
only character is the Hulk.
You
So I don't expect to see them in
Because
like both
at
of them.
Civil War, someone dies, and so
I forget his name in
see
back.
if they do that because they have a funeral
good
scene
mask
that's
to
already
have, by
been
the way.
shot for Civil War.
What was the big buff guy in Guardians of the Galaxy? It's escaping
Drax?
my mind. Drax. I feel like when he gets in this, there is going to be some hilarious jokes of flying that Iron Man is going to throw over
Yeah.
his head. You
Yeah.
know that they're going to milk that like
Mhm.
crazy.
They definitely will.
In his naiveness. It's going to
Naivety.
naive. Is that a word?
Naivety?
Naivety.
Nativity story.
Nativity.
Nativity. Yeah, definitely.
Natives.
Nativity?
I feel like
Yeah.
we just got Jesus in this
Um,
somehow.
Yeah,
The
dude.
natives of the Avengers.
The natives. That went random right there.
Well, no, it'll be
But-
fun though, just to see all those characters work
Oh,
with each
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
You know?
But
No, it'll definitely.
at that
be.
point, I don't know if that's like the Avengers anymore, or is that kind of like
the Avengers Plus.
Unlimited?
Yeah.
it's,
Is that
it's just
my
more-
mind me?
Yeah,
that
it's
I'm
like when
making
Justice
it up,
League
but-
had that show, and
Yeah,
it's
Justice
like
League Unlimited.
It is everyone.
Do you think that's kind of what it's going to be like? Because I feel like the first
Probably.
Avengers was all right. This is the Avengers. This is who the Avengers are.
core team.
Yes. Even though I think Spider-Man should have been in that personally,
Well, he's not in the core team,
but I don't know. I felt like
Wait,
Is he in
I'm just
Yeah.
really glad that they're adding him.
yes.
Uh.
But I'm sad that Andrew Garfield is not going to be
Yeah.
Spider-Man because I think he was going to be he's the perfect Spider-Man personally.
As of right now.
Yes, for this generation.
Yeah.
Previous generations, like us who grew up with Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Tobey
I
Maguire
don't
did a
mind him.
great Spider-Man.
I don't
know,
mind him.
Until the third one.
It's
Because Tobey
Well,
Maguire, he's a soap opera actor.
at the
Yeah.
time, I thought it was great. At the time,
Uh,
But mind the dog. Sorry if you can hear that. But
Well, because you don't mind, because it's the first.
at the time, it was good. Because, it was the first Spider-Man that they made,
Yeah.
and it was actually good. We grew up with him. It was this. That's all we knew. Us kids
Right.
knew. Mind us 90s kids. Because there's probably kids younger that
if
might
you
watch
can
this.
say
But,
that,
yeah, so given that we're a 90s kid, grew up in the 90s, and it was good for us.
Yeah.
It was the first Spider-Man movie coming out. You have is it James Franco, Dave Franco, whoever
James
he is.
Franco.
Personally, I didn't think in the beginning he was that great of an actor. Still, I don't think he's that great. I don't know.
He's just funny.
Yeah, he's
a
funny, but at the time,
guy.
no one really knew that because he was so new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was.
He had done stuff before, but like he was more security clearance accepted.
But okay, that we hit a tangent there. But for this generation, it's more modern, and I guess it does follow the comics a little bit more with the way he acts. And
Yeah, a little bit better.
You
they're still not getting the wittiness of him
Peter
when
Parker.
he's fighting.
well, no, they did a
feel
little
like
bit
you got
better.
that.
I don't know.
We got it better than we did with Tobey Maguire's.
In the first
but-
one, they really hit on it. They
Yeah.
really did. Like when he was getting his powers, that kind of stuff.
I do
So-
like all the little like lines that you could just take out of context with the Tobey Maguire one. Like I
Yeah.
think there was a video online where every single time he hits someone, he's like pizza time, and just like
Yeah.
he'll hit someone. And, like, it'll be moments like that, like
Pizza
Doctor Octopus is like, "You're a real pain in my nerve," and he's like, "Pizza time," and just like stuff like that. Like he'll say it to anything,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I shot Uncle Pizza Time," and like stuff like that. Like it's just that's the internet for you. But like Tobey Maguire's his is a much more dramatic because
Yes.
he is a much more dramatic performance just because he's a
Yeah.
more dramatic actor. That's why he's perfect in Spoils of Babylon because he's like a soap opera actor overacting simple lines.
I felt like he did a good job in Great Gatsby. Tobey Maguire. I felt like he did a good job.
I never saw the whole movie.
I didn't see it.
That was a totally off-topic remark there, but I felt like he did a good job
That's fair.
when I saw it. It was
He's
an
a good
interesting
actor.
movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But sorry, my little side note there. Good job,
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire. If you ever listen to this, good job.
Oh yeah, dude, I love him.
You've done us proud.
He's in oh no, that's Elijah Wood. Tobey Maguire's in The Wiz, and then like Elijah. I was thinking of Elijah Wood in Back to
He was
the
also in
Future, too.
Seabiscuit. Remember that movie?
Yeah, he was. He
Anybody
started
remember
no.
that movie?
it. He
It's
started.
the one about the horse.
I know, but I'm
Well-
just saying. I was just saying that he was in that. Like,
Oh no, he's not in The Wiz. He's in The Wizard. Because he's like a kid when he did that. He's just walking down a set of stairs. He has no lines. He's just an extra.
well, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
how they get
Hey,
to start.
Yeah.
I think you have some hungry customers over there.
I'll throw a computer on.
There you go.
Feed them with knowledge.
Oh, we didn't. I
Nice.
don't know how it hits a monitor.
Well, it like ping ponged off. Of
Yeah.
it.
So, all right, what should we hit on next, guys?
Paul, do you want to talk about the whole Konami thing?
Fucking
Oh, Silent Hill.
Silent Hill
That's
being
totally
canceled.
last
and that-
okay, so last night, like this was I've known about this for a very long time, but like no one really gives a shit. But last night we were all like hanging out. It was a couple of us. You weren't there, but it was just me. Like
yeah.
Nigel,
Garrett
all of
wasn't,
us.
but
Yeah.
it was other friends.
We were all hanging out, and I was like, "Oh, there's a bunch of us here. We should play PT." And of course, that just pissed me off like immediately. I was extremely excited to play it, but at the same time, I was like, "Oh yeah, they canceled PT."
Yeah.
And then some girl there was like, "What's PT?" And I'm like, "Oh, just a game that Konami could have made millions off of."
Just
and they
basically
fucking
the best
canceled it.
horror game that could ever be invented.
Yeah, like
that
the-
decides not to release.
Yeah, like it was gonna be a really good horror game, and they just decided not to release it. And Konami sucks. And then Nigel's like, "Don't get fucking Paul started on it. 'Cause you can talk about it for hours." And like that was kind of funny, but like,
But now we're going to get started on it
yeah,
because we're going to talk about it for like at least 10, 20 minutes.
yeah. But like, hearing that they canceled it, like there was always this like speculation, like, "Oh, it might get canceled. It might get this," and it's like, you wouldn't, like you wouldn't think that they'd be that much of an idiot to do it. Turns out they did. There
Yeah.
has to be reasons why they did it. Hideo Kojima could be a total just rock star and just be like, "I can make millions, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can be a jerk if I want to." You don't really. I don't know the guy. There's something that could be going on behind closed doors that they as a company don't want to reveal, because then it's like airing their dirty laundry. And then of course people will absolutely hate them. People still defend Konami. I don't know why, but you want to give them the benefit of the doubt at the same time.
Yeah.
But to cancel the whole game itself, and to just say, "No, it's not gonna happen," and to tell like just seeing it like from Guillermo del Toro and seeing it from Norman Reedus and all of them, just being like, "Oh yeah, that project we're all working on, not gonna happen. Really sorry about it, but it's not gonna happen.
Because they had already put in a lot of work, I'm assuming. I mean, they had the concept for PT, and that had been out for a while.
Yes.
And so I'm assuming the game process had been in the works for a while, and like all that work, now they're just tossing it away.
Well, when Kojima was talking about it, he's like, "Oh, we're all working on it," and it's just like, it was a game, you know, like they were working on a game, and it probably wasn't going to be out until I always thought.
I thought it was going to be like later this year.
I was thinking 2016, like late 2016.
Oh, okay.
Because one thing that they said in the trailers, that's the other thing. The game is incredibly cryptic. One thing that I thought for sure was going to happen when in the trailer when he's like, "Oh, I'm bringing my new toys with me." I thought that was just. I took Kojima literally because he does that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Of just like, "Oh, I'm bringing my new toys with me," and PlayStation has that new like Oculus Rift thing coming out. So I'm like, if they integrate that into the game, great. You know, they could be hinting at that.
Yeah.
Did
that
PlayStation buy that, or was that Facebook?
What do you mean?
Facebook bought Oculus Rift.
Oh yeah, Facebook bought Oculus Rift, but PlayStation is developing their own like Oculus
Oh,
Rift.
okay. I was gonna say. Sorry, I was just.
No, don't worry. Their demo.
I
of
thought
it,
something happened, so I wanted to ask about it.
Yeah, there's a stage demo that they have of it that like you can look up a video and it's just terrifying. It's you in a shark cage that just gets disconnected.
You know how crazy that would be, though?
Absolutely.
Doing Oculus Rift with a Silent Hills game?
Absolutely. Oh my god, that would have made so much money. And if they—that's the thing. They wanted to.
I think that would literally make people shit their pants. I think it would happen.
Definitely. People put that game Outcast?
Outlast.
Outlast.
Definitely not as scary.
They put that. Well, I know, but it still got like those.
Amnesia's a good
giant
one.
weird guy running at you.
Isn't Amnesia a pretty scary one? I thought a lot of people claim that.
That's the thing. Horror.
But
has
then again,
taken off.
even Slender Man. I mean, it's not really that scary, but people hyped it up to be the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Well, because of YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
There's
you have like
so
these
much.
4-year-olds playing these games, and obviously something like that is going to be scary. But I don't know. It was hyped up so big to something that wasn't even that scary.
Absolutely. Like when you watch it, oh come on, dillhole.
He's gonna spray you with that paint.
Well, because if he sprays me, he's gonna steal all my money too. I'm gonna take his crowbar.
Show that bitch your box, right?
But with like the follow of all these different YouTubers, like there are guys who do like the reactions and everything, you know. And some of them, it's just like whether or not you like it or not, they can affect the way that games are released. You know, what games get released, what games get the most attention because of if they get paid to do it or not. You know, PT could have been like the next big like. If a channel plays it, you know, it's the next big thing.
Honestly, it could have been like Call
track.
of Duty, you know, like it could have been on every, you know, could have been sponsored by, you know, on the Super Bowl commercials, and you know what I mean?
Well,
if they wanted it to be, it could have. You know what I mean? Like, it could get that way.
But
if they wanted to.
It was going to be
definitely sponsored.
Oh, exactly. See? They could have not fundraisers, but promotions and all that stuff.
Sponsors,
I don't know why I said fundraisers, but
yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Well, Silent Hills was just going to be a big success, and that to me doesn't really bother me. Shout out to Mr. Mean Yeti. Like, it doesn't really bother me that it was going to be a success. It's just that it interests me. Because that was the first game in a while that, like, after I played it, I was very just, like, shaken to the core, like, this is scary, and it's not only scary, but it's disturbing, you know?
Yeah.
The design of it, what is actually being brought to the game and everything like that. Like, I remember the baby thing scared the crap out of me. Yeah. You know, because it's so out there. You know?
Yeah, like, who does that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
And
Norman Reedus isn't, you know, like that's always a bonus to that movie or that game. So
seeing him in it, it was funny because like last night I played it with Zach and Kevin. Zach had already played it, but Zach was still terrified
for the PS4.
Yes.
Okay.
We played it. We played it PC. It's the only one that's on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we played it last night at his house, and it was around midnight when we were playing it. So I like kept like joking at that too.
Yeah.
But when we were playing it, Kevin had never played it, and he was absolutely just terrified. Like, and it was just seeing like his emotion, just being the same way of like what it reminded me of when I first played it. And it was funny because like when we watched the trailer at the end, are you serious? Oh, okay. When we watched the trailer at the end though. It was funny because he didn't say Norman Reedus. He's like, Daryl? And, like, it was just kind of funny, like, hearing that.
Daryl?
And seeing that, I was just like, oh, cool. Norman Reedus is in it. But seeing Guillermo del Toro be attached to it, I was like, oh, we are in for a treat, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that got me excited. And, And with Silent Hill, like, it's not just a guy chases you and is right in front of you, you know?
No, it's like in your head.
Yeah,
like
it's
almost
just
like that.
putting you in a
It's-
place where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Or in a mindset that you don't want to be in.
Because, like... Oh, come on. I forgot that there's all these guys in here. I need to get a shot.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
With Silent Hills in the past, though, it's like you'll run into a different room, and that guy will still be chasing you. Oh, God. And, like, that's where the chase comes in. But, like, in other games, if someone's chasing you, you'll turn around, and he's just automatically there. They'll do a jump scare to scare you. Like, oh, he got you. You know,
like, it's realistically chasing you. Like, if you were to run away, this is how they would chase you.
Because, like, I was saying that last night. It's like a supernatural jump scare, like, of just, like, oh, he's running at you, but he's just there now.
Yeah.
And it's, like, it's
that thought in the back of your head.
Yeah. And in the concept trailer that they do for PT, there's that thing, like, chasing after him down the hallway. He books it all the way down, has the time to watch a door, like, jump in front of him, and then he still looks around and sees that monster is still chasing him. It's like, that idea is way more scary than just a big guy catches you.
I thought Outlast had a lot of that, though. I mean, did they do a lot of jump like that? Like, jump forwards? I felt like when they chased you, like, it was pretty fair. Like,
when it chased you, but, like, when it first, like, is introducing you to everything.
That's the thing that they have that, certain horror games have done this. In racing games, it's called the rubber band, like the rubber band effect. So, like,
you snap it.
No,
no.
Like,
okay, I was just saying, like, you snap
pull it
forward,
to-
like.
well, no,
okay.
'cause, like, it's like, okay, so I'm always 15 feet in front of you. If you're going super slow, I'm gonna go at the same speed as you. You know, it's stretching to the same, like, resistance that you're going. So, like, if you're going like 15 miles per hour, I'm gonna go 15 miles per hour, but I'm gonna do the same distance in front of you. If you're going 40, I'm gonna be going 42. But, like, with horror games, they don't really do that, you know? Like, it's just, if you're running... I mean, like, they'll do that sometimes. Like, if you're running slow, he'll be going slow with you and, like, detail check on a room or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, if you just run out of a room and, like, you know where you're going, sometimes the horror monster will just be right behind you. And it's just for the purpose of a jump scare.
Yeah.
It's
Just to be
make
scary.
Yeah. But, like, with PT, there's nothing even chasing you. It just randomly happens. And even then, it's not even that bad of a jump scare. It's very quiet. It mostly just catches you off guard.
Yeah, because you're so used to going in the same place over and over again. And you're like, oh, that's new.
But I found, like, all the little, like, scares and everything, because, like, I know how to, like, trigger most of them. So, like, getting Kevin to see them last night was really, really funny. Like, there's that part when the window just falls and just breaks, and it makes a really loud noise. That's a jump scare. But then when you look up and you see the woman just watching you from above, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
She doesn't do anything. She just walks away. She's just like, see ya, and then just backs off.
It's almost scarier when they don't do something.
Yes.
Because it's like, when are they going to do something?
Because it's the uncanny valley. It's the it's you don't know what's going to happen, and that's what scares you. Is the unknowing.
Yeah, the anticipation of just.
Yes.
But them canceling it, like, it sucks. But Hideo Kojima hasn't given up. You know, like, he'll do something.
Yeah.
It's not like he's never allowed to make a video game. I'm sure that game specifically has patents that Norman Reedus, Guillermo del Toro, and Hideo Kojima can't work together again. But for the time being, it's slow to the slow to the point that nothing is going to happen for a very long time.
Yeah.
Maybe in the late 20s.
That could be a good thing. A good thing, though.
Yeah.
And Guillermo del Toro is already working on another video game. I forget.
So.
He's working on a video game right now?
Yeah, I forget which one. But he's already working on another one because he has expressed, like, big interest in working in the gaming
absolutely.
industry as, like, a writer and stuff. What he was doing with PT and Silent Hill.
I think, wasn't he attached to, he had something to do with Gears of War, didn't he? Or, like, did he just express, like, he was like, oh, I really like Gears of War or something like that?
I think that might have been what he did.
'Cause
I don't
I
know
remember-
if he actually was behind.
Yeah, I don't know.
They might just be
enough
like,
about him to
I
know.
play that game type thing. Like,
Yeah. I remember hearing something and, like, being like, Guillermo del Toro? Really? And I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's a sad thing to see, but at the same time, it's not the end, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the end of Silent Hills, with that project and everything, of Silent Hill specifically. Konami will make another Silent Hill game and it'll be awful, like Downpour, but it'll happen. But I just want to see Kojima make a horror game now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to see him do something that isn't Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Which he has talked about in the past. He's like, yeah, Metal Gear Solid's cool, but I want to work on other things. I want to make video games.
Yeah.
And hearing that, I'm like,
it's too that game is just too, like, I don't know.
Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Well, it's
It's the same
thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
same thing over and over again. You're
That's
still
a-
getting the same
Yeah.
I mean, you can say the same about Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah,
I
I know.
I'm not hating about that.
Oh,
but it's just
no.
It is what it is. Same stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, it's like the Tom Clancy Splinter Cell games.
Oh, I love Splinter Cell though.
Oh, I mean they're good games.
Yeah.
It's just it's the same thing. Like they
Yeah.
really don't do much. I know they had like the Mercs versus Ops or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
special game
Yeah.
type.
Mercs versus Echelon, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
That thing, it's funny because, like, we'll just talk about it for a bit, but, like, with those games, I remember hearing, like, oh, you were either a Metal Gear kid, a Metal Gear Solid kid, or you were a Splinter Cell kid. I was a Splinter Cell kid growing up, but my brother Mark, he was way more into Metal Gear Solid, more than I was, but I still really liked Splinter Cell a lot more. And I remember when the new one came out, Blacklist, I was like, oh, yes, it's coming out. And then the guy talked. Sam Fisher talked, and it wasn't Michael Ironside. And I was like, not going to fucking buy it. I'm not buying it. Like, I'm seriously not going to buy it.
You were so easily like unsold. You know,
Yeah.
like you'll instantly be like, nope, I'm done.
When I heard it, I'm like, that's some kid. That's not that's not Sam Fisher. That's some kid. Because he's been the same for every single
That's
game.
like doing Shrek and not having
Mike
Myers do it.
Yeah. I mean, Shrek
Like when
is
you-
the new Splinter Cell. Like, Shrek,
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
I haven't heard that joke. Boy.
You haven't?
No.
You haven't seen that video?
No, I have.
Oh, I was gonna say, holy shit!
Dude,
like,
everyone's
what the
all about
fuck?
Shrek now.
Okay,
And,
I was
dude,
gonna
everyone
say.
is all about that Shrek. I'm gonna eat something. Get this drink. Please, no. No!
No, that was.
Have you guys ever seen those videos where it's called Mash Mouth? It's a little series on YouTube this guy does, and he adds Smash Mouth to any song.
Yeah.
Like Full House.
Yeah, it's the guys that
Yeah.
did Harry Potter Pals.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's that
It's like
same
the
guy.
best thing. Like the
Oh,
Full
is it
House
Mr.
one gets me
Sariga?
out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah, he has an album called
Oh, mouth sounds?
Mouth
Yeah.
Sounds, and then he has an actual album called
Yeah, he has some other ones in there too.
No Mouth Sounds, or something like that.
Yeah, they're-
where it's like an actual like remix thing, and both of them are really good, and it's
Like they have songs that
hilarious.
you just wouldn't expect that work together, and it works like absolutely amazing. Like,
Right.
They do a Imagine All the People, John
yeah,
Lennon,
yeah, they do
Lennon,
Imagine All the People.
and what is it?
They do-
Somebody like what,
Yeah, it's all
and they slow it down, and it's hilarious.
He slows it down to it. He does Modest Mouse, is Float On. He does a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, he's crazy.
It's
I,
great.
well, I remember when Tommy was here, we watched the Lenny Kravitz Fly Away one.
Yeah.
And that one was kind of funny. It's just like, he just messes with it, but like, I know that with Neil Cicierega, like, it's kind of funny because he shifted a lot. Like, he was just like, he was making videos with like New Kids on the Rock and everything like that. They did a new episode recently, but like, he shifted from that to just focusing directly just on music.
Yeah.
Like, he at one point, I think he was their like second pick for the Gravity Falls theme song. And he like wrote one and stuff, but then they went with someone else. Like, he's attached to it, and his sister is a storyboard artist on there. Like, they work in the industry, you know, and it's just like, it's funny seeing that, like, how much of an impact the internet can actually have on you and your career.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
agree.
good at the same time. Okay.
I feel like this would be a good point to cut to a different game.
Alright.
Oh, to just stop playing this
Yeah.
and play another game.
Yeah, maybe play something else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, just cut
we've talked about everything, I think, that we were going to talk about in the podcast anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for listening and watching if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're listening, probably on SoundCloud. If you really wanted for the first one,
Beats music.
Beats on your Beats by Dre,
What else?
cruising.
Disney
on the
Radio.
405,
I don't
Disney
know.
Radio.
Anything
If you're
else?
listening on your Zoom right now, shoot
Yeah,
over to
your
the next
Zune.
channel to hear us talk about
Dude,
wacky.
hold on,
animal
real
noises.
quick. When the Zune came out, dude, I was so stoked. I really wanted one. Okay, sorry.
absolutely.
That's
Just
some
throw
random
it in
shit.
there.
Yeah, I just want to throw that in
If
there.
you're listening to on your Zune,
Yeah.
props for you for making it out of middle school without being beat up.
And then if you're watching a live stream of someone watching this video, hello to you too. So.
If you're watching a Let's
Or
Watch,
goodbye. So.
watch on
A Let's Twitch.
a Let's Twitch.
This podcast was brought to you by Zoom. Zoom, we remember the year 2004 just as much as you do.
Thank you for watching. Yeah.